Okay, now you're probably looking and saying, hey, Doug's name's not there on the starting list for this heat. So the reason I'm showing this is if you look, I'm going to be in Heat 5 and Heat 20. But the guy that went before me, he was struggling so bad with the wedge, like getting it to lock in. And it really made me nervous before the race because I was like, look, having a good start is the way to keep the things going that I want to happen in the race. And if his ability not to get the wedge and get the strap to lock in the way he wants to is not going to work for him, then maybe it's broken. It's not going to work for the rest of us. So before I went, it was two guys that just struggled with the wedge, right? And he's swinging the latch like several times, and I was just like, okay, I hope this guy doesn't break it because if he breaks it, that means I just don't have the wedge to use as leverage for my start, and it's going to be too. I'm going to have to put my feet too low. Now you can see the time it's taking here between the start of this race and the start of mine because they just told all the guys to wait, and this guy you can't see it because they have it covered, but multiple times he's trying to work the wedge, and it's one of those things you have to set the wedge up once you get in, place it where you want to place it, and then kind of lock it in. And yeah, the fact that he had taken this much time, it kind of threw me off a little bit. I was a little nervous. And he eventually just gave up and was like, look, I'm just going to go without it. Right. So I'm just like, okay, well, I'm not going to go without it. So it's got to work. Right. Now it had retracted and it went back to his position. But what I didn't want was the wedge to slip off for me and I wouldn't be able to swim fast. Okay. It's time. The one race that we trained for. We've been waiting all year for this. I really, really was excited about swimming this race. Like I said, I was nervous, but now here we go. So I have 200 backstroke. My goal is to break 215 and hopefully get better than 10th place so I can, grab a medal at the meet and secure my, kind of top 15 ranking in my age group for the year. So I'm in the middle of the pool. So I was just focused on my race. Don't overswim the first 100. Be relaxed and then just build the legs into each 25. Hit 6 to 8 dolphin kicks off every wall and just stay focused on my race and nothing else. Now, as you can see, there's no guy in lane 3. And I knew there was 2 heats in my age group. So I figured, oh, well, if there's one less guy in there, that's one less person I have to kind of focus on for the race in my ability to go, into for placing at this meet. So the first 50 goes exactly what I wanted, just nice and easy, just relaxed, right? You probably don't even see my legs really kicking that hard. And I'm just really just stretching out the stroke, just really long strokes, hitting the turns, hitting the dolphin kicks. You just really relax. From this viewpoint, it looks almost like I'm just like kind of warming up, but I'm definitely moving. And it was right at this moment when I did this turn that I realized that, like, oh, I might be going out a little too slow because it just felt too comfortable, right? I wanted to use the dolphin kicks off the wall to really bring me there, but I just didn't want to use any of my energy at all in this race until we got past the 100. And then I would kind of move into 100 backstroke mode and kind of take off. And I got up, I saw the scoreboard, and I was like, oh, okay, I'm at the same split at the 100 that I had when I went 214 the week before. So I was like, well, maybe I don't have to go. So I just stayed where I was. I didn't take off, and I didn't start to go because I was like, I must be in the right place where I want to be in terms of my strategy. So I'll just kind of stay there. Stroke rate's still good, still feeling strong. Now, of course, the one thing you probably noticed is that the other guy, he's already kind of taken off, and I wanted to kind of stay next to him. And because I wasn't focused on him during that third 50, I hadn't realized that he had just really like taken off. And I got so laxed on that third 50. So when I looked at the scoreboard and I was like at the time I was going for, I was like, okay, well, all I have to do is just come home and not die coming off this last 25. And when I did that, I felt really good about the time that I did. I feel really good about my ability to, go under 210 in the future because I was able to do 214 and it didn't really cost me any energy. Now, I know a lot of people may say, well, if it didn't cost you anything, you must have still had something in the tank, you didn't give it your all. And I don't look at it like that. I feel like because of all the training I did, lots of 250s and 350s and 175s, that I was able to execute a race that didn't require me to go into like the red zone or the red lining to get the time that I wanted, you know? And if you can do that, that is something that it takes a very, very, very patient set of training to do. Like I said, I focused on the 200 backstroke for this particular competition. And what I said to myself was when I get done with that race and I look at that time, will I be content with all the hard work and sacrifices that I made for the whole entire season? And when I looked at the time, I was content. I didn't feel like, oh man, I really had to push to get there. I really felt like, oh, okay, I have the ability. I feel confident I have the ability to go 210. My best is 205, lifetime best when I was in college. I think I can get to 212, 210 with a little bit more work in this coming year based on this race. So it worked out so beautifully that the last race I had to wait the whole 4 or 5 days to get down to this race, but it worked out perfectly that everything came together the way I wanted it to come together. And I was able to swim a race that didn't require me to panic at all, just like I had kind of panicked at the first race in the 100 free. I'm just showing it again. Now I'm going to talk about some other things. So I definitely hit all my dolphin kicks. One of the things I did realize is that on the 200 backstroke, because I was focused on 6 to 8 dolphin kicks per 25, I was just coming up just past the 15-meter mark, or in this case, the 10-yard mark on this side on every wall. The kicks weren't as short and fast, they were bigger, but that allowed me not to kind of blow out all of my energy and just really use the kick to just propel me past the wash and into the next 25. The other thing that was great is I hit all the turns. I was like square on. There weren't any turns where I was like short or long or anything like that. And the other thing that was great is when I got to this 100, because I was focused on the splits and I had, kind of wrote stuff down and I knew the splits from when I swam before to when I swam now, having the ability to look at the clock definitely made it easier to just stay composed and relaxed as I was doing each 50 because I could see, okay, this is what we had did the previous 50. Okay, I know how much energy I need to use going into the next 50 and I could just stay relaxed. I didn't have to swim the guy's race that was that was in front of me. Now he's doing the time that I'm looking to do, but my race was 214, so I could just stay in my lane, stay focused on what I'm doing and not really have to panic or try and speed up or anything like that. And it made it the best race I've had in the 200 backstroke in a very long time. So I look forward to swimming this again. I'm looking forward to trying racing and getting down under 210 and then swim at long course and see if I can start working on my long course time. So this has been my 200 backstroke and all my races at the 2024 Spring Nationals in Indianapolis, Indiana. I look forward to talking to you guys on the next one.